Hello, for this demonstration we're going to be making a canvas using the geofloral papers, stamps and also some of the stencils, and this is roughly what we're going to be creating. So I've got a canvas which is roughly 8 by 8 inches, and the first thing I've done is I've put some gesso on this. I'm then going to grab my oxides, which is my picked raspberry and wild honey, one of my old foam pad daubers, and I'm just roughly around the edges going to add some of this colour, just wiping it on. It doesn't have to be perfect because we don't really want that anyway. So all we're doing is just around the edges and just taking it in a little bit on the corners. I know it looks really rough at the minute, but a lot of this will be covered up anyway, and we're going to add the wild honey to this as well, just to tone it down a bit. There we go. And then we're just going to add the wild honey randomly. I know it looks really bright and vivid, but we're going to add some water to it as well. So I'm only doing this really roughly. Doesn't want to be perfect. On that side. There we go. Just pop the lids on there because it's a hot day today and I don't want them drying out. So just got some of the water in a mister bottle and I'm just going to squirt it on. Okay, and then I'll just grab my cloth, which is clean, and I'm just going to blot it. So as you can see, that's knocked that back quite a bit. Okay, you can see that. So that is roughly what I wanted. So I'm just going to pop this to one side for a moment because I'm just going to show you the papers. Just let that dry properly. So the papers come in 8 by 8 and 12 by 12, and the 12 by 12s are double-sided, and the 8 by 8s aren't. This is an 8 by 8 one, and they're 250 GSM in weight, and as you can hear, really quite substantial, and there's some gorgeous patterns on here with pinks and blues and golds, which I'm sure you've seen anyway. So what we're going to do, I've got some of the papers and all I've done is I've torn them, then added round the edges the picked raspberry and the wild honey, and then squirted with water. Just to show you how well these do actually tear, here's one. So really easy to tear, and you can actually, when you tear it, you can actually hear the quality as well. And that is all you're doing to make these strips. Like I say, I've then gone round the edges with the picked raspberry and the wild honey, so I'll just do this on this one. On some of the papers there's actually elements like this, so this will be one of the features on this canvas. So I'm just going round the edges. A bit of a shabby chic, this one. And then round again like that. And then I'm going to add the water again, which is what I've done on the previous ones. Sorry if I'm rocking the camera a bit. And then just squirt again, and then I'm just going to dab that, and then just pop that to one side, and that can carry on drying. In the sheets there's also a sheet that's got some sentiments on it, and then some plain elements that you can then add sentiments in the middle. So all I've done, I've torn out the happy birthday, and I'm just going to add the ink again. And then the same, add the water. obviously I've not done this on every bit to show you because it's a bit, you don't want to watch me tearing every piece of paper. So that's got that ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I've got some gel medium here which I'm going to use to apply these strips of card. So as you can see, this is all nice and mottled and marbled effect now, but we are going to cover some of that up. So there's no right or wrong way of popping these on here. I'm just going to do it quite randomly. So if I overthink, it doesn't look as good, I don't think, for myself anyway. So just going to pop these on. At home, when you're doing this at home, obviously you've got a bit more time, so you're not rushing like I am. Just add in the gel. The reason why I'm using the gel is because I may, right now, I'm going to end up lifting that and popping it down there. I didn't want it all in lines, so this is just adding a bit more dimension and texture to it. Pop some more of this on. You can use glue, whatever glue, your PVA glue or whatever. I just prefer to use the gel medium for this, but you just use whatever you've got. I mean, you can even use double-sided tape if you feel you can get on with that. I prefer the red liner for this sort of thing if I was to use the tape. Oops, waste that. So just going to pop this one there, lift that one up. So like I say, there's a lot of, if you do this, you can use this product, you can lift it up and down. Now there's a hole there, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this in half, just add a bit of colour again, and then add that on there, like so. And then another bit like that. Okay, so I know this is looking really random, but it all will come right in the end. So I could really do with another bit, so let's just tear that to roughly where I want it. You can use scissors if you're not happy with tearing it. Just going to quickly, just to save time, use the big blender just to add a bit of colour on these, because I seem to have misplaced one of my strips. Just give that, you can see when you don't spray the difference in the colour. That spray, and then I'm going to add that to there. Okay, I'm not worried about that side bit because we've got another panel that will go there. So that's on there like that. Okay, while that's just taking a bit of time just to set, we've got a heart. Let me mop up this piece of a heart, just a MDF heart that I got in my cupboard. Then I've used one of the stamp sets in the Geofloral range. It's the lined one, the geometrical shaped ones, and I've just stamped and heat embossed in the gold on there. And then what I'm going to do is what I've done before, pick raspberry over the top, because it's gessoed as well, so it won't absorb in as much, which is what we want. And then I'm just going to go over with the orange a bit. I do apologise if if my hand keeps coming in, and that is just toning it right down. Then with the water, as we've done on the others, give it a good spray. If you think, oh, there's too much water on there, which I think I have, yeah, not to worry. Let that dry. And I've heat gun, use my heat gun on there, and then just add another layer, like so. Okie doke. There, that's better. Not so much water this time. There we go. Lovely, that's better. So that's the heart coloured. Now pretend this is all nice and dry. We're then going to get one of the stencils that Lottie has brought to us. And there's 6 of these in the set, and I've just randomly picked one that I like. Well, they're all nice, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the pink. Just randomly. I didn't do this when it was dry because obviously you're not quite sure how your layers are going to be. But it doesn't want to be perfect. The whole idea is it to be quite shabby. Let's add some more down here. And if you do get a bit of gel on your stencil, you just pop it in some water and it'll come off, it'll be fine. So as you can see, random, that's the way to go. Just add that there. Okay. So then we're going to bring in this element that I cut out. I love this. Oh, I've used near enough every piece of this in the kit because I just love this image, and you can colour it in, glaze it. I've used distress inks to colour it, and it's come up a treat in some of my samples. So we're just going to pop that on as well with the gel. Now I'm putting this on a bit thicker because I just want it to stand up a little bit more. Okay, so that is going to just sit there. We're then going to bring the heart in, and I'm using the gel again to apply to the back of the heart shape. And just going to put that on there. Okay, then we've got the happy birthday. I'm just going to shape this a little bit with my fingers and just give it a squidge in the middle, just to give it a bit of height. Add a bit of the gel again, bit in the middle, and then pop that on there. The gel dries clear, so you don't have to worry. What I would then do, when that is all dry, I would then go in with some wax, which I've done on this one. I've just got some Pent Art wax, and then I've just gone around the edge of the flower and the heart and the sentiment. I use a brush to do that, but obviously you've got to wait until it's completely dry. So when pretend that is all dry, I then got a little bit of gold paint, and I do only mean a little bit. Hope you can see that where I've popped that. Yeah. Move that out of the way. Good squirt of water. And get my brush. Just mix that in a little bit. And then if you just flick, so you've got some gold flicks on there. Okay, then you can leave that all to dry. So I hope you can see that okay. That's the one I've just done, and that's the one that I did earlier. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.